What's happening, everybody? Tyrone Bowman. Welcome to Black Wrestling News. Okay, let's get down to it on tonight. I'm not talking about wrestling, but I'm going to talk about this recent article that was written rather in USA Today. The headline reads: Judge issues a summary judgment ruling in the bankruptcy case of the son of Deion Sanders' son, Shiloh. So let's talk about it tonight. A federal judge has issued a ruling in the bankruptcy case of Shiloh Sanders, giving the Colorado football player a victory that keeps alive his effort to discharge more than $11 million in debt. But the case is still far from over. Judge Michael E. Romero ruled the case would require a trial of sorts to determine whether the son of Colorado coach Deion Sanders was being willful and malicious when he allegedly assaulted a security guard at his school in 2015 when Shiloh was 15 years old. What does what happened when he was 15 years of age have to do with him declaring bankruptcy? They don't ask these questions of other people. You know what kind of people I'm talking about when they file for bankruptcy. Notable questionable figures of dubious character. You know. This court has already determined the issues of willful and malicious behavior will be relitigated in this proceeding, Romero said in his ruling issued today, obtained by USA Today Sports. That determination will necessarily involve an examination of any justification, including self-defense, offered by Sanders for his allegedly willful and malicious behavior. If the judge had ruled the other way on this matter, Shiloh Sanders would have suffered a crippling blow in his effort to erase his $11 million debt to John Darjean, the security guard he allegedly assaulted in 2015. He would have been on the hook to pay that money back to Darjean pending any appeal. Instead, his case will continue to be fought on multiple fronts more than 9 years after the controversy started. Darjean had sued Shiloh in 2016, seeking damages for what he described as severe and permanent injuries, including incontinence. He said Shiloh swung an elbow at his upper chest and punched him as he tried to confiscate his phone at school. Shiloh and his father Deion disputed the allegations, saying it was Darjean who was the aggressor, not Shiloh. Shiloh even testified in pretrial proceedings and filed other counterclaims against Darjean, but he didn't show up for trial in 2022, leading to a $11.89 million default judgment against Shiloh Sanders in 2022. You know? Italy, what's happening? Thank you all that are viewing on tonight. Appreciate your viewership. But Darjean wants the money he is owed. Wait a minute, hold this. Let me get back to this. After Darjean pursued debt collection on that judgment last year, Shiloh filed for bankruptcy in October 2023 in an attempt to get rid of that debt. But Darjean wants the money he is owed and is fighting Shiloh's discharge attempt and bankruptcy court. Debtors generally can discharge their debts by filing for bankruptcy, as Shiloh Sanders did last year. The reason he did so was to erase this $11 million debt to Darjean so he could get a fresh start, free from the oppressive burdens of his debt. As his attorney said, but there are exceptions in the law that prevent debts from being discharged in certain cases, and one of them if the debt stems from a willful and malicious injury by the debtor. In response to Shiloh's bankruptcy filing last year, Darjean's attorney filed 2 complaints to contest Shiloh's attempted discharge as Darjean continues to pursue the money Sanders owes him. In one of those complaints, they argued that Shiloh Sanders should not be allowed a discharge of this debt because it stemmed from a willful and malicious injury. They wanted the judge to make a summary judgment ruling about this, arguing at a hearing in Denver last month that the matter was already litigated in a state court in Texas and should not be precluded from being litigated again. But the bankruptcy judge didn't fully agree with Darjean's attorneys and denied their summary judgment motion as it related to whether Shiloh's behavior was willful and malicious. He only agreed that the issues of causation and damages were litigated in state court, not Shiloh's state of mind during the incident in 2015. The state court order and judgment in Texas are devoid of any discussion of Sanders' intent. The judge wrote, given this lack of findings, the court is reluctant to conclude the issue of self-defense was fully and fairly litigated in state court. You know, all this jargon boils down to one thing here. This guy wants to get paid. That's it. But Shiloh has a right to file for bankruptcy if that's what he believes he has to do. The court finds that John Jardine's injuries and damages were a foreseeable consequence of the physical assault perpetrated by Shiloh Sanders. The state court said in its findings of fact and conclusions of law in 2022. That wasn't good enough for the bankruptcy judge to rule Shiloh acted willfully and maliciously during this alleged assault in 2015. At least according to bankruptcy law, being willful and malicious relates to his state of mind at the time. Sanders pled self-defense in his state court answer, but he obviously was not at trial and did not present any evidence regarding his state of mind. The bankruptcy judge wrote, one could argue that the state court necessarily rejected all Sanders' plea defenses when it determined he committed assault. However, the state court order and judgment make no mention of self-defense or any justification offered by Sanders for his actions. There is no indication the state court considered Sanders' state of mind or whether his alleged apprehension of danger was reasonable. The judge said the issues of willful act, malicious injury, or self-defense in those matters will be determined in this proceeding. Why am I covering this story tonight? It's simple. For people who are involved in sports, men and women, you're going to be careful what you do on the professional field and what you do off the professional field, because people are always going to take you to court and sue you. And the bottom line is, no matter how much they claim they were hurt and they were messed up, they want that money in the end. That's what they want. They want to get paid. They want that dollar. And they're going to pursue it. They're going to fake it. And they're going to pretend that you were the most audacious monster that ever walked on the face of the earth. So what does that mean? That means a trial of sorts on this matter in the future. Meanwhile, the trustee overseeing the bankruptcy estate recently has been seeking information about Shiloh's assets in an effort to collect them for creditors. Darjean also has another complaint pending that accused Shiloh of omitting or concealing assets. Oh, like rich people do every day? Isn't that what rich folk do? Greedy CEOs, greedy billionaires, greedy bankers, greedy investors, they conceal assets in Swiss bank accounts and in other foreign lands because they don't want nobody to know what they have. Shiloh's attorneys disputed this and say they have cooperated. Shiloh, who is now 24, is a graduate student at Colorado and will play his last college game December 28th in the Alamo Bowl against BYU. If you want me to record and talk about other stories outside of wrestling on this channel, you can answer me in two ways if you choose. You can comment in the comment section, or you can email me at TyroneBowmanSr@gmail.com. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Thank you.